So never mind the home decor. I just thoughts through my head. You know how it works. But I was thinking from the time that I started like learning a lot, and I pretty much almost got addicted to YouTube. Still kind of am in a way, but my focuses have shifted. Yeah. Um, Life changes, all kinds of stuff. A little older now, different jobs, different amounts of free time, different things I could do while I'm at work, stuff like that. And let's say about 2007, I'd say 2008. It was about the time I quit working at Waste Management, and more so around 2009 and 2010. I was driving cab back then, and I really got into this because I was always interested in space and physics and quantum physics and stuff like that. So I'd watch documentaries and lectures by what was his name? Krauss. I can't remember his first name. It's been a while. He did an interesting lecture about the universe of nothing. And so he explained the concept of nothing to a physicist, an astrophysicist, someone who deals with space and the quantum realm and all that. Just some really deep stuff. Because when an average person thinks of nothing, we think of nothing, like nothing at all. But nothing in reality is full of something. We just can't know exactly what it is. We can measure it to a point, but as soon as you measure it, it disappears. And somewhere within that space of what we would consider nothing, something else pops up. It's Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. You never know where a given particle is at a time. Particles pop in and out of existence in the quantum realm randomly. And so nothing is not nothing. I thought that was interesting. I was really into science stuff, but I got into the whole because I had realized I was an atheist because I started listening to the arguments because I've always been kind of skeptical, and I had gone through a shit ton of personal endeavors to try to see if I could figure out what's real. I'm not one to just take things because they're said or they're in a book. I need a little bit of evidence. And so I started watching The Four Horsemen and Aaron Raw, An Amazing Atheist, and The Atheist Experience, Matt Dillahunty. Got a whole bunch of them. Andromeda's Wake, D.P.R. Jones, and just all these different creators and their arguments and everything. And it opened my mind to a lot. But during that time, around 2010, I'm not sure if Kitzmiller versus Dover was around that time. I knew it was somewhere close to that, but there was the arguments between evolution and creationism, and just random people on YouTube would come in there and they'd argue against people like William Lane. Theoretical bullshit. That was a good one. He's a soap opera actor, but he actually had debates with William Lane Craig, and then you had Kent Hovind, and you had all these people that were out there trying to get people to believe that creationism made more sense than evolution. But their arguments had no substance to them. They were a joke. And they were debunked left and right and left and right and left and right. All you had what the hell was the guy's name? The Banana Man. The Australian Banana Man. And then the old child TV star. Why can't I remember their names? Oh, Kirk Cameron. That's the child TV star. He did the crocoduck thing, which was stupid as fuck. And then you had, because that's two different species mixing together. You wouldn't have that in evolution in the past. And you would not have a fowl and a reptile. Yeah, that just whatever. It's stupid. It's not possible, for one, and it's just not something you're going to find. That doesn't make it untrue. It's incompatible. You want to find it. Oh God, what was the other guy's name? The Banana Man. I can't remember his name. Man, oh man. I just saw. It'll come later. That's usually how it works. God, what was his name? It's driving me insane now. That's how irrelevant they are. Anyways, I used to watch them and watch the debunking of them, and it was just insane. And eventually, their side died down because they couldn't win the argument. They thought, they would still walk away thinking they won, but in the end, science wins over because science has the evidence. They don't. So, got into a lot of the religious views, and it was whatever, and it kind of died off a couple years later, probably somewhere close to 2015, somewhere around there. It just kind of died off, and it wasn't really something. Different creators started going different ways. Bionic Dance started focusing on her animation, and Zinnia Jones was focusing on her path as a transgendered person, and everybody started going their own way. They started doing their own thing. Amazing Atheist wasn't really doing debunking videos anymore. He had Deep Fat Fried, and he had a bunch of podcasts that he was doing, and collabs with other creators. Getting together and talking stuff over, and I wasn't that involved in that because those are like hour or 2 hour long streamcasts or whatever you want to call them, and I was busy in other things in my life. We all moved on, and then all of a sudden, when Trump became president, the dummies started coming out. Yeah, I know. Some people might think that that's insulting, but if you believe that the earth is flat, you're an idiot. I don't know how you're stupid. We have all the evidence in the world that it's not. Fucking people like the ancient Greeks knew that. Aristotle and all them, they knew that it was round. They could measure it. Pythagoras measured it. They knew. Hell, they probably even knew the circumference of the planet. But now we have people who are thinking it's flat, and they're trying to push their narrative. And then we started getting people that were, oh, shout out to Armored Skeptic back in the day when he was still in armor. I liked him. And then, what was the other one? Logic. Yeah, he was good. Anyways, the idiots start coming out again. And they start arguing over the same shit, just dumber. And like most of us, we're past that shit. We're like, whatever, they're stupid. They didn't get it the first time. What's the point of going after it again? And like I said, this is like 2016, 17, 18. I'd say give about 2018. All the dummies started coming out again. And now, in 2022, they've gained power. They've gotten into position. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, God, the crazies of the crazies, QAnon. A bunch of right-wing extremists coming out of the woodwork and because and racists and public pedophiles even they started coming out of the woodwork, pushing their narratives, making stupid arguments, pushing a form of tribalism that's just asinine. Damn liberals, damn liberals, damn liberals. And then the people on the right, they buy it hook, line, and sinker. And it's frustrating for someone who thinks, someone who understands what our country about, what the world is about, because even the rest of the world who has moved on and realized, the Christian right is insane, but they're in other countries where it's not necessarily affecting them that much. But here in America, it's bad. It's getting bad. We have politicians outright calling themselves Christian nationalists, which wants to make the United States a theocracy. And it's scary. It's scary right now because now they're starting to come after our rights. They've literally come after our rights because they stacked the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court is pushing religious narratives, taking away protections of people so the states can discriminate. At least, the red states can discriminate against minorities. And we're not doing anything to fix it. And it's frustrating because I'm not running for political office. I am not a politician. I don't want to, because when you're a politician like that, you drag your family into it. My family suffers enough just from my current job because I'm never home because I work 60 plus hours a week. And we're building towards getting ourselves some financial freedom, but the way things are going, there might not be much of this country left to live in by the time I hit top rate, because this where I work has progression. And, I took a small pay cut. Well, I'm going to call a $3 pay cut a small pay cut, but, I took a pay cut to come over here because this was more stable and I can make more money and get better benefits and all that stuff. It's just not always a steady schedule, and it's rough. There's a lot more hours involved and stuff due to the pay cut to make ends meet, basically. Because, of course, we had the pandemic and the inflation and all this shit. Because our government is letting corporations run this place. And now they got the crazies coming in here taking away our rights. And it's crazy. It's a shame what has happened to this country. Even other countries out there, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, America? You used to be this shining beacon, then you decided to elect Donald Trump as president, and now all the freaking crazies are coming out, and now you can't stop them? Because that's what it feels like. I have the arguments against a lot of these people. Constitution. See, that's the thing. It went from fighting theology that was just trying to undermine science, like evolution and flat or geocentrism, and we had all this stupid shit going on. And now it's fighting for this country's founding principles, the Constitution. Because we have idiots in power who don't even know what the Constitution says. I mean, I would have random conversations with people. And I was having this conversation with someone who says they're on the left. They're not on the left. There's no way. No way. Not with the shit they told me. I think they were just feigning being on the left. And I mentioned the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, and he looked dumbfounded. He didn't realize. Because he was like, well, what's wrong with it? I'm like, we're not a Christian nation, dude. The First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting establishment of religion or prohibiting free exercise thereof. It's like, if you don't believe me, look it up. And he's just like looking at me like, what the? No way. I'm like, look it up. It's not just about free speech. The same thing we were talking about the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of the state, the right of the people to bear arms, or the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. It specifically says they want you to have arms. They give you the right to have arms so that you can join a militia for the state to defend the state. Not against the state, for the state. That's what the Second Amendment says. But, these people, they think it's, well, we're supposed to fight against the government, the tyrannical government. Okay, sure, you can fight against the tyrannical government, but our government is not tyrannical yet. If the right wing keeps getting the control like they are, it will be. And then it will be the leftists arming themselves. We have a lot of people on the left, including myself, Anna Conspiracy on the Young Turks even said, you know what? Fuck it. Go get yourself some guns. Arm yourselves. Be prepared. Get them while you can. Because we're getting threatened left and right. People wanting to actually kill us. I mean, Charlie Kirk had to calm down one of his supporters because he's like, well, when can we start shooting them? Because liberals, the tribalism has gotten so fucking bad, it's insane. And I just wish that people would use their fucking brains. You want to believe in a God in the sky and all that stuff, go right ahead. But don't try to force it on other people, and don't vote for politicians that are willing to push it. Even if that's your religion. Because that's not what America's supposed to be about. People don't understand what freedom is anymore, especially on the right. They don't know what freedom is. I don't even think my dad knows what freedom is. My grandpa did, and he was a hardcore Republican. That's why I respected him. But the thing is, he fought. He understood. He knew. He knew what he was fighting for. He knew he was fighting for people like me, who wouldn't agree with him on a lot of stuff. Especially, how to live my life. And there's many times he said, well, that's his right. That's their right to do that. I don't agree with it, but that's their right, and that's what I fought for. He understood. But nowadays, they don't understand. Nowadays, they fight for freedom from what? World War II was basically outside of the initial going into Afghanistan to get Osama bin Laden after we got attacked in 9/11, but that went a totally wrong direction. 20-year fucking war, and we hardly did it. We could have been in and out of there. We could have got him quickly, but we changed our focus to Saddam Hussein because Bush had to finish Daddy's war. Yeah, Saddam Hussein was a bad person, but he wasn't doing anything. There was no weapons of mass destruction. There was lies. War crimes were committed by the president. And it continued on, even with Obama, and continued on under Trump. Biden pulled us out, and then all of a sudden they want to say, oh, what about the 12 that got left behind or killed or whatever? That wasn't Biden's fault. I mean, a terrorist attack could have happened whether we were pulling out or not. It just happened to happen when we were pulling out, so 12 people died. That's a shame. But we literally had no right to be there. It was time to evacuate. It was time to get out. We should not be in offensive wars. We should only be in defensive wars. Yeah, we do need another FDR. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. And so we might have the postman kind of scenario going on. I don't know if you remember that or not. But that may be the future of America if we don't start protecting this country, because it's under attack by religious zealots and ignorant people who think that they're on the right side of this, but they're not. And I like to see YouTube get back into fighting these idiots, but outside of the Young Turks, I feel like the fight's happening on TikTok now, which is weird, but true. So, I don't know. I feel like everything's falling apart and we need to do something to fix it. And if we don't, there's not going to be much of this country left. It's a shame. It's sad. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. So this is just a little get shit off my mind thing. So read your Constitution. Understand it. I don't care if you're religious. Do you think your religion should be telling me what to do, or your friend, or everybody else? Or should you just follow your religion and live your life based on your religious beliefs and let other people live their lives for theirs? Or if they don't have a religion, then whatever. It's up to them, right? Freedom, right? Understand what freedom is. Understand what it takes to keep freedom. Sometimes you have to let people do stuff you don't like. Welcome to America. We're supposed to be the melting pot. Some people are trying to stop that because they don't like change. They don't like people who are different than them. And that's a shame, because our differences makes us stronger. Us coming together with our differences, despite our differences, under a common theme of freedom, working together as a country, that's what makes us stronger. Always has. Always has. But now we're falling backwards, and we need to stop it before we fall too far backwards. We might end up being on the other end of the rifles of our allies. And we may have one of the strongest military, but there's no way we can take on the entire world. Guarantee that we can't. And I believe there's a majority of people in this country that do not want what's happening. So, that's all I got. See you later.